We've said it before, we'll say it again. Who doesn't love a good challenge? Hey everybody, I'm Troy from Baker Drinks. May look a little different here today. Someone's missing. Many of you know already, some of you don't. Laura's been in the hospital. She's doing fine. She'll be home real soon, so no worries there. In the meantime, the show must go on. So I'm doing this solo. Hopefully not too many of these. So anyways, what's this challenge about? So Brian and Deb over at the Buffalo Bourbon Enthusiasts came up with a pretty unique challenge.
Today, we're going to talk about the 7 deadly sins and our bourbon collection.
Stick around and see our most sinful bottles.
They challenged some people.
And this is a challenge. So we're going to challenge the Bourbon Hall. I know you haven't watched the Bourbon Hall. Wade, I like Wade. He's someone I just started watching the Bourbon Hall. And I think Wade would enjoy doing this. We'll have to watch.
Who did the challenge? He challenged some people.
Let's do Byron and Bourbon Drop. Yeah, I think that's good.
He did the challenge, and he challenged some people, and we happen to be one of them.
Laura and Troy, of course, from Baker Drinks.
So here we are. So what is this challenge all about? You've all heard of the 7 deadly sins, and you're probably wondering, how do the 7 deadly sins apply to bourbon? Or my bourbon collection more specifically? And Brian and Deb came up with a pretty unique concept here, and I feel like it works very, very well. I'm excited to do this. It's going to be a lot of fun. So the first deadly sin is pride. Now pride can mean a lot of things, but as it relates to the bourbon collection,
And this is your most prized possession.
now you may think it's this Redbreast 27 that I talk about often. You know, I bought it with my boys and I only drink it when they're in town. That's not it. You may think it's this Pappy 15 or this Old Rip 10. Good selections, both a little tatery. Definitely not my most prized possessions. You might think it would be these BTACs, but you would also be wrong there. There's something more valuable to me than even all of these tater bottles. Believe it or not, it's these two, a Woodinville and a distillery you've probably never even heard of out of Seattle, Washington, Copperworks. Now, why are these our most prized possessions? Because we took a trip to Seattle for my birthday. We went to both of these distilleries and we hand-filled both of these bottles. And I know that might not seem like a big deal to you. And before we did it, it probably wasn't that big of a deal to us either. But just the emotion and the giddiness that you get from filling your own bottle, especially at a small craft distillery where they roll out the red carpet for you to do so, it's something I'm never going to forget. These bottles can never be replaced. So the next deadly sin is greed.
Our most expensive bottle.
And I tell you, we've spent a lot of money on a lot of good bottles. We've got some good deals. We paid a little bit more than we should have sometimes. This one, we definitely paid more than we should, but we did get it at MSRP. Basically what happened is we've had a refund check. The bills were paid. We didn't really know what to do with it. We could have saved it, obviously, but we decided to splurge and we went out and we bought this. It is the 11-year Kentucky Owl Bayou Mardi Gras edition. Fantastic rye whiskey finished in rum. This guy was almost $500 MSRP. And boy, is it fantastic for about a $200 bottle. So let that be a lesson to you. Just because you have the money doesn't mean you need to spend it, and definitely no whiskey is worth that much money. Happy we have it in the collection though. So next on the list is lust.
In the sexiest bottle you own.
Basically, which one is the coolest looking? It could be these Dark Arts picks with their super cool glass toppers, but it's not them. It could be these Michter's 10 years, the bourbon and the rye. Very shapely bottle. Looks great on the shelf. Not them either. Is it the Gatsby's? Nope. You guessed it, it's this bottle you've never heard of. It's the John A.P. Conley Rye. Just that hammer-shaped bottle is so unique. I don't think I've ever seen it in another bottle. It's got that long, sleek neck, broad shoulders, wide hips. That's just a sexy, sexy looking bottle. And the juice inside is pretty stellar as well. Next on the list is that fat kid, Gluttony.
A bottle that you have a lot of in your collection.
I mean, the way you hear me talk about it, you'd think it would be these Russell's picks, but you'd be wrong. These things have gotten very, very hard to find outside of just the single barrels. The picks themselves are very difficult. I don't know if Wild Turkey just stopped doing them or people stopped trying to chase them down. I see probably 1 or 2 of these a year. I used to see them all the time. I used to have a much larger collection. I've just been drinking through them and I can't replace them. So it's not this, or this, or this. Stopped collecting them. We got all the horses. It's not even this. What could it be? It's this. We're suckers for Elijah Craig. Picks, barrel proofs, it don't matter. We love them all, and we collect them all, and we drink them all. Every one of these is open in various states of being drank. We've got a few that we've finished. This is like almost 20 bottles. By the end of this year, it's probably gonna be closer to like 25. I don't know. It's just great juice. Heaven Hill does it right, and these hit our palates perfectly. This is clearly the winner. Next on the list is Wrath. And you may be thinking, what the heck does Wrath have to do with my bourbon collection?
This is the bourbon that you'll never buy again.
Whether you hate it, or it was too expensive, or for whatever reason. And I know what you're thinking, it's probably gonna be that damn Chattanooga 111 that Troy's always talking about, but I told you I would never bring that bottle out again. I actually threw it away. Sent it to the recycle. I got a new one that I'm hating on these days. It's the Claremont Steep. This is just not good. And I'm a huge American single malt fan, but this tastes like Play-Doh rolled around a dead fish. It is god awful. I've sent a couple samples out. I've had people tell me, please don't send me that anymore because it's that bad. I will never, ever buy this bottle again. Ever. Next up, deadly sin number 6, sloth.
Sloth is one that we don't have. It's out there. It's readily available on the shelf. We're just too lazy to go and get it. We're always going to get something else instead.
It's the Cooper's Craft. I got 2 empty bottles here. I need another one of these. I love this stuff. It's on every liquor store shelf around me at a decent price. I'm just too lazy to grab it. Maybe because I know it's always there. I go into the store, I find something that is more appealing to me. For whatever reason, I've not picked up my backup of these. Finally, the 7th deadly sin, envy.
A bottle that your friend has and you don't have.
Market Northwest Bourbon, you got that single rick house. You were just a couple people after me in the lottery. You pulled that one. I got the Jack Daniel's twice barreled rye. I really wanted that rick house and you got it. I'm extremely happy for you, buddy, don't get me wrong. But if I'm jealous about any bottle out there, it's that one and you got it. So I hope you enjoy every drop of it, buddy. Love you. And with that being said, Market Northwest Bourbon, you've been challenged to do this. 7 Deadly Sins of Bourbon. Steven at Tipsy Whiskey Shenanigans, you've been challenged to do this, the 7 Deadly Sins of Bourbon. Jordan and Brian at the Bourbon Pour, you challenged us to the SLB Most Interesting Whiskey Challenge. We're challenging you to the Buffalo Bourbon Enthusiasts 7 Deadly Sins Challenge. Guys, I hope you have fun with this. I hope you've enjoyed this list video, challenge video, whatever you want to call it. Please like, comment, and subscribe. We greatly appreciate you. And with that being said, we'll see you again next time. Cheers.